first up, what we've got for you guys is the review of the all-new Oppo Find 7. Yes, the company is called Oppo, but before we get you a full review of the Find 7, let's tell you what the specs on this new smartphone are like.
Oppo Find 7 sports a 5.5-inch multi-touch capacitive screen with display resolution of 1440 by 2560 pixels and a pixel density of 538 ppi. It is powered by a 2.5 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 quad-core processor backed by 3 GB RAM, Adreno 330 GPU. The primary camera on the Find 7 is 13 megapixels with Sony Exmor IMX214 BSI sensor and dual LED flash. There's also a 5 megapixels front-facing camera. Built-in storage of 32 GB is expandable up to 128 GB. Find 7 has a Lithium Pro battery of 3000 mAh with rapid VOOC charge technology. Oppo Find 7 is priced at 37,990 rupees.
Okay, let's begin by telling you whether the Oppo Find 7 is worth it or not. Let's begin by the design of it. It's got a simplistic design to it, clear-cut lines, and of course, it's got a tall order to it. It's got a huge 5.5-inch screen up front, just enough to not be called a phablet but a smartphone. So that way, it is safe in that area. Of course, it's not a lightweight phone at 171 grams, grips well, and at the back you get this intricate mesh texture which looks premium, feels premium, otherwise it's just a polycarbonate shell overall. The other color on the all-new Oppo Find 7 gives a carbon fiber look and feel to it. All in all, the design is very simple, kept choco-block, looks like a chocolate bar, and you get these capacitive, touch buttons at the bottom of it. And you get your regular power button and volume rockers on each of the sides. So design-wise, this is pretty much about it. Now, Oppo Find 7 is a smartphone that brags of its display. It's got a 5.5-inch IPS QHD panel on it with a pixel resolution of 1440 by 2560 and a pixel density of 538 ppi. This is a clear screen, it's quite bright, a little reflective under the sunlight. Right now we are outdoors and as you can see, it's quite reflective outdoors. But indoors, it's a very bright, neat display. It delivers crisp colors and great viewing experience, especially if you plan to watch some movies or sitcoms on this. This is one good display on the Oppo Find 7 and it's on the money as well. Now, Oppo Find 7 is powered by a 2.5 GHz quad-core processor. And this is the same Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor that is powering many high-end smartphones currently available in the market. So performance-wise, this does not lag. Be it gaming, be it multitasking, you throw anything at this phone and it delivers seamless performance. At no point of time the phone feels that it is under pressure, that you're making it work too hard to open apps or to render a few gaming graphics for yourself. On a benchmark test as well, it scores a high score of 34,515, which is as good as many top-of-the-line Android smartphones available in the market from Samsung, HTC and even LG. So Oppo Find 7 in terms of performance delivers on the money. Now, the primary camera on the Oppo Find 7 is a 13 megapixel camera with a dual tone LED. It comes with a wider than average f2.0 aperture to it, and of course, in addition to recording full HD videos, it also records 4K and of course 720p slow motion videos as well. The 13 megapixel camera seen on this one is better than many existing 13 megapixel cameras that we see on high-end smartphones these days. The image results in bright light are really superb, and even the low light results are not that grainy and distortion free as well. So in terms of camera, the Oppo Find 7 is on the money. But that's not even the best bit about it. The best bit about the Oppo Find 7 is that it's got an Ultra HD mode to it. You shoot an image, wait for about 5 seconds for the image to process, and you get 50 megapixels of detailed imaging. That's a smart trick done by Oppo over here. What they do in those 5 seconds is that they stitch 10 images together and give you that finesse, that detail with the camera, with the existing 13 megapixel camera on this one. It also has a front facing camera for selfies, but that's just about average. The camera app is also very neat and simple with various scene and image selection modes to edit and post-process as well. Now when it comes to the battery on the all-new Oppo Find 7, it houses a 3000 milliampere lithium polymer battery inside the casing. So it's a non-removable battery over there and lasts you about a day. What's great about this smartphone is that if you're totally out of juice, all you have to do is just plug the smartphone into its charger for about 5 minutes and you get about 2 hours of talk time. Plug it for about 30 and you get 75% of charge on your battery. Now that happens because of a VOOC technology in it that gives it rapid charging. So that is one battery innovation that I really liked on the all-new Oppo Find 7. Now the Oppo Find 7 is a good high-end smartphone which is high on performance, good in terms of camera and charges the battery really fast. But then again, it has some perception issues along with it as well, because it's a Chinese company after all that is manufacturing this smartphone, and Indians really don't take that well, do they? Finally, last but not the least, it's very difficult to find a Find 7 in the market. Overall, this is a good performing smartphone indeed.
Find 7.
Now Asus is coming out with a new smartphone in the Indian market and it's called Zenfone 5. And up next on the show, we get you an exclusive review of this mid-budget Android smartphone. But before we do that, let's tell you what the specs are like. The Asus Zenfone 5 is a smartphone powered by a 2 GHz Intel Atom chip along with 1 GB of RAM. Zenfone 5 boasts of a 5-inch IPS display that has a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels. The phone's primary camera can snap photos at 8 megapixels. Asus Zenfone 5 is a mid-range Android smartphone and is expected to be priced between Rs 15,000 to Rs 18,000. Alright, those are the specs on the all-new Asus Zenfone 5, and now we are joined by Sahil Gupta, who's an assistant editor technology with India Today Group, and he gets you the review of this new smartphone.
Asus is a company that's known for building some great products. It's known for its great design and build quality. This is their latest smartphone. It's called the Zenfone 5. It's going to be launching in India very soon. Is it good? Is it bad? Let's find out. So this is the Zenfone 5. It has this very ergonomic curvy design on the back, so it's pretty nice to hold. It's built out of polycarbonate and it's not a unibody design, so you can flip out the back cover out of this phone. Previously, this pattern has been seen on Asus ZenBooks, which is their lineup of notebooks. But the problem with this design is that it gets scratched very easily, so it won't be very durable. It will start looking pretty bad very soon. From the front, it's a pretty tall device, which means it's a little difficult to reach all corners of the screen, even though from the back it's pretty ergonomic to hold. But in spite of its vertical length, it's a pretty nice device to hold, and the price band it plays in, which means it's a pretty nice device overall in terms of design. On the front, it has a 5-inch 720p display. It's a very nice panel with decent viewing angles and good color fidelity, but its outdoor visibility is a little iffy. Under direct sunlight, it's not very legible, but indoors, it's a fantastic display with deep blacks and overall very good colors. We live in an age where there are lots of phones which have octa-core processors, quad-core processors. But this phone has a dual-core Intel CPU. It's not an ARM-based chipset, it's an Intel CPU, and it features hyper-threading technology, which basically means that it is able to simulate virtual cores. So even though it's a dual-core phone, it can simulate an effect of a quad-core phone. Intel processors are known for their multitasking capabilities, and if you're buying a smartphone with such firepower, then you expect great multitasking. This phone really performs brilliantly. We tested it and we could have 10 or 12 apps open simultaneously and it performed brilliantly. Multitasking was absolutely superlative. On the back, this phone has an 8 megapixel Pixel Master camera. So Pixel Master is a patented Asus technology where they have a very low aperture and a decent resolution on the camera sensor. This means that it performs very well in low light. They have packed in some really cool tricks in the camera software also, where automatically the camera software will tell you to enable low light mode, and it's got a very cool depth of field effect. Overall, the performance of the camera in low light particularly is very good. In daylight, normally most cameras are decent enough, and this one outperforms its competition. So the Zenfone 5 runs on Android 4.3 Jelly Bean. On top of it, Asus implements its brand new Zen UI. So it's a new UI, it's different from the UI that we have seen before on the pad phones, and it's basically their take on Android. It boasts of colorful icons, unique circular flat design elements inside the drop-down menu. Overall, it's a very pleasing interface and it runs pretty smoothly, so because it's very well optimized with the Intel chipset. On the back, this phone has a 2110 mAh battery. It's not user removable, as you can see here. The battery life is pretty decent, it lasts a day. So for instance, if you wake up at 8:30 a.m. in the morning and you reach home at 9 p.m. in the night, it'll have around 10% of juice left. For a dual SIM mid-range Android smartphone, this is a very compelling option. It offers great performance that's comparable to devices priced above rupees 20,000. It offers great build quality and it's got decent battery life and a great screen. Overall, it's a great option.